Hey, it's 10:01 on Monday. Welcome to Coffee with Clever Models. Got to have your coffee. This is my second coffee of the day. I'm actually kind of surprised it's not the third. Excuse me. Okay, we're going to try and get the live chat thing going if we can. I have no idea if that's going to work. But, okay, we're going to show you a few things today. I'm sure a lot of people have questions about, 1 second, I want to see if this looks better. Yeah, that looks a little better without the light on. That may change as we, show you things. But okay, so what we're doing today is we're going to talk a little bit about a couple of subjects. One of them is going to be why are we modeling in paper in the first place? Why choose that when there are so many other opportunities, so many other materials that you could use, right? And there are reasons for that. And then also, I want to start off by talking a little bit about, and I'm bringing this up here on my phone. I don't know if you can see this. This is our web page, right? And you can see that it says up there, or does it say up there, the magic number. The magic number is 183. What's the magic number? If you're a regular at our webpage, you know what the magic number is. But to put a point on it, the 183 is how many sales have happened at Clever Models since we released the last freebie, which was a model of a barge. And it was a really nice barge too. So if you haven't gotten that, you still have a little bit of time to get it before we put up the next freebie, which actually, I don't know what it is, because I had called Dave a week or so ago and we were getting up there in numbers. I said, hey, I have some ideas for the next freebie. And he said, don't worry about it. I've got it covered. So it's going to be as much a surprise to me as it is to you. We have plenty of kits, that are either in the works or partway, mostly done, or even just sitting around that have never been released. So we're not going to run out anytime soon. But freebies, basically, at 183, we are 17 kits away from, or 13 kits away, rather, I think, then to releasing the next freebie. Now, we have always had a situation where when we released free kits, sales would do a little bit of a boost. But it was always rather iffy because we didn't have a schedule for releasing them. And from a marketing standpoint, and I'm always trying to learn how to properly market this stuff, because we pretty much make it up as we go and all that. But what we did was, the cart was before the horse. We were putting out freebies and hoping people would like them and then buy kits. Works better the other way around. By releasing a free kit every 200 sales, it motivates folks, and we're doing much better with that. So we're happy that seems to be working, and hopefully this too will also, create some way of communicating so that we'll have more contact with folks who want to build stuff. So that's going to be hopefully more fun for everybody. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying doing this. There's no problem there. I'm going to start off with a product review. Okay. Bought this, was looking for some new stuff. And boy, doesn't this look great. You got all these blades, and it's got 3 handles, and it's not really a brand name that I can see of any kind. I just lost a blade through the bottom here. And as you can see, I kind of ripped it open and opened it. I bought this at, I believe, Hobby Lobby, and it was $9.99, and I thought, wow, it was great. I was just looking for blades, and I thought, wow, what a great deal. Fact is, not good. Do not buy this product. I have yet to take a blade out of here that was sharp. I couldn't even cut myself with these blades. So, yeah, you want to kind of stay away from this. And the handles are kind of cheap, and it's not a good deal. So, actually, what I ended up getting, let's see if I can put this up. If you can see this, one of those, it's a typical, utility knife. This works great. It's not as sharp as an X-Acto or what's their competitor. I can't think of the name right now, which is a little better than an X-Acto. But this works just great. And all you got to do is, break off a new edge every time you need a blade. Highly recommend this. It was a couple of dollars. It was like $4, I think. So if you're looking for tools to use, this works really good. I'm going to put that down. Also picked up at the art store. I needed a new way to something fresh. If you can see this, it's a gray marker, and we're always talking about touching up the edges. So this is a 2-sided gray marker. I don't like to use black. Black is too intense, and I don't try to match colors exactly. Gray just knocks down the white paper edge when you cut it. Really, really works. So go get a gray marker. Okay. This Clever Models is known for making things for model railroaders. It's not the only thing we do. It's the only thing we're currently marketing. But I wanted to show you a couple of other things. Here's a test model. I don't know if you can see it. It is a lunar lander. We're going to go back a little bit so you can kind of see what that is. Very loosely based on the SpaceX Dragon module put forward a few years. This comes from a toy set, our Moonbase toy set that it's kind of out there. Some of you may have seen the Moonbase crawler that I did and made as a free kit over on papermodels.com. This is an extension of it. Actually, this is a test model. The real model that is available is a little bit more detailed. The tanks are detailed. It has insets for the landing engines, etc. And I think I have it available in a couple of different sizes, larger than this. But this is the Moonbase. And why did I do a Moonbase? Well, the reason I started this whole thing was actually when I was working in the video game business as a computer modeler. I was originally going to do these paper models for gamers as part of game play sets basically. And one of the play sets that I completed some time ago was a Moonbase play set, and this is a part of it. This is a part of what I test built. And there's a lot of buildings, and one of these days I'll get around to actually making this available. But I wanted you to see, we don't only do trains, right? The world is not all about trains. This is a paper modeling podcast. So there you go. There's that. I also wanted to show you, some people had asked questions about the process. And I had another test model that did not go so well. Okay. This is, if I can hold this up and so that you'll see it, this is a test model of a steampunk, what I call this. Actually, let's look at one of the sheets here. This is what I'm calling Airship Armada. Okay, it's a bunch of steampunk airships and spaceships and all kinds of other things that we're doing. We'll get around to marketing them at some point. But where is the? Oh, there it is. Okay, this sheet actually is this piece of paper right here. This piece of which is the hull of a steam blockade runner airship Adelaide. I don't know how I come up with these names. Not very good sometimes, but this is what is on this page folded up. Now, since doing this model has gone through a lot of changes. Okay. One of the most obvious changes is the bottom is not finished. My intention was that it would just be that the whole bottom would be flattened and glued together and it would be like this. It's not going to be that way. As you're going to notice, there's a small opening at the bottom. I'm going to fill that, or I've already actually filled it. And it's going to be able to sit nicely on a flat surface. This camera doesn't work all that well, but anyway. Also, when creating this, I started test folding the hot air balloon. Okay, that looks like this. I have to keep stepping back. Now, obviously, it's not completed. That's because once I got this far and confirmed that the seams actually were working, there was no point in going farther. I knew that this was not exactly what I wanted. And the reason for that was that it's too small for the hull part of the ship. So I know that the shape works. I know that the geometry works, but there's no point in going farther. I have already redone it. It's going to be at least twice as long. All right. You're going to notice that inside there's a bulkhead, and I decided it needed more bulkheads. In order to make it twice as long and to make it fit on 8.5 by 11 sheets, the nose piece and the tail piece, which are more or less identical, will be their own pieces on their own sheet of 8.5 by 11, and they'll have their own bulkhead. So it'll be 3 pieces put together, and that's how that's going to be. And, you can see the parts, if you curve them, and you can curve them, like that or whatever, they will fit together. There are seams, not that concerned that the seams are not perfect on this test model, right? I've got one, actually that one right there, that is proper, and I know it fits, and that's all I need to know. So that's part of the process. That's one of the reasons that models are often late being released. We have to build them. Occasionally, if I'm releasing a kit that is based on a model that already exists, we've just resurfaced it, done a repaint on it, but the model more or less, we know it works, I'll do a computer graphic version of the model to show people. We don't go through the process of building it because we know it works, right? So, but not everything we do comes out. This is a really good example of that. So, yeah, what fun. But it's a lot of fun to do this stuff. It's not trains, but, I can't live on that by itself. So that's what we're doing with that. Now, what are we going to do in the future? I'm hoping we're going to get a lot of live participants. Not getting any right now. It's probably something I've done wrong. So I'm still working on that. We have gotten a nice number of subscribers. I hope you like this. We're going to do a lot more. Next week, I think we're going to start building this. This is the farmhouse. Okay. This is the O-scale farmhouse I've got right here. And we're going to start building it next week. We're probably not going to get real far because I don't want these podcasts to be more than, this one's already pushing 20 minutes and I'm not, I was thinking 10. So we're at 15 minutes right now. So we're going to start constructing this. I'll probably pre-cut a lot of the parts. You don't need to watch me cut stuff out. So uh, we'll be building this next Monday. Okay, and hopefully getting a lot of back and forth feedback uh, from all the people who have subscribed, which is quite a nice number of folks so far, and we're hoping for more. We on the Clever Models website, we have over 1,000 people who follow us, and would love that if all you folks came over and did that now. Let's see, what was I was going to do this thing here with my webpage. If it works, we'll see. I'm not the most technically, adept individual with this. But to recap that, Clever Models website, you can get over 100 kits here, and they're all. Oh, I was saying, why model in paper? And the smart ass answer is why not? But let's get serious here. Model railroading has gotten very expensive, and it blows my mind that people will pay $70 or $80 for a tiny little structure just because it's made out of wood. Right? It's laser cut out of wood. Well, what's actually laser cut? The windows? The real value in any of those kits are the castings, and there's not always a lot of those in those kits either. A similar kit that costs $70 or $80 costs about $3 or $4 or $5 from Clever Models. You have to print it yourself, okay? Just like, what I just showed you, these kits right here. So you get yourself some cardstock paper, which costs $14 or $15 for 250 sheets, and it'll run through your printer. And the expense, the few dollars that we charge for the download, which quite honestly goes into the time it takes to engineer something like this and to test build it and all that, that's what you're paying for. Right? The kit, once you download it, is essentially free. It's yours. You can build it as many times as you want. You can modify it. We have so many really great builders who modify kits. And if you go to the webpage, clevermodels.net, there's dozens and dozens of photographs. There's some new ones out now that I think are absolutely wonderful. I'm going to try and get to the web page here and see if I can. Okay, yes. So there's the web page. We're going to go over to read the blog. Okay, and there on the blog are some really just put up current pictures of some builds. Let's see who did this build. Let's see. What is on Patrick Conkle's workbench? Well, and there it is. What's on his workbench? And these are really nice. That's a very nice variation, or a very slight variation on our cannery building. Looks like a very nice job. I can't wait to see more close-ups. I'm not sure about this garage on here. I think it's one of the freebies that was published in the scale annual that has been pretty substantially modified, but it's great looking, right? And we're going to go up here, and what do we have? This one of my favorite kits that has been really underused, underbuilt, underappreciated. This is our larger depot kit, and as you can see, it looks really great. You can see better pictures of it on our webpage. I love what was done with this. It's just beautifully built. The only change on this was instead of the diamond roofing that comes in the kit, it was replaced by, let's see, what we got. This is the Furnace Creek Railroad. Who is the author? Let's see. Wayne Essel. That's right. Wayne Essel built this, Ferns Creek Railroad, did a fantastic job. The only change is he changed the roofing with our shingle. We have a wood shingle product, and he printed out some wood shingle texture and replaced the diamond asphalt texture with it. And it really improves the model, I have to say. Usually people who kit bash our models, they really, really make them better. They really do. Makes me wonder why I didn't think about it in the first place to do that. But Wayne kicked it out of the ballpark, did a really beautiful job on a model that has been pretty much ignored. We have not sold a lot of these models, and I don't know why. It's big. In O scale, it's a big kit. I think this is HO. I don't know, but it's a really nice kit. So once again, I'm gonna conclude. I guess the time really flies. I'm going to conclude with thanking people for your continued support. You know, we've been around like 14 years, 13 and a half, 14 years, and the support is great, you know, and it's a great community, all 1,015 of you. And we hope to see you next Monday when I'm going to start building, I think I'm going to start building the 2-story farmhouse, unless I come up with something else. Okay? So have a cup of coffee, and we'll see you next week. This is fun. Chime in. Let us know your thoughts. Bye-bye.